Recently, we had the privilege and joy of celebrating 20 years of being the Tulare Evangelical Free Church, from vision to reality. It started with Steve Elliott, at that time Associate District Superintendent, stirring our pastor, Rich Jones, with the vision that God was directing the establishing of an evangelical free church back in Pastor Rich's hometown. After much prayer and research, they moved forward believing that God truly was directing their paths. In the first years of ministry, there was much movement in securing facilities for our gatherings. After several years, we were able to enter into a long-term lease agreement with the Seventh-day Adventist Church. They graciously allowed us to stay there for 15 years until we moved into our new facility in 2010. This building adventure was punctuated with God's fingerprints. Our church had only $8,000 in savings and no property when we believed God was directing us to build. The idea seemed almost laughable to us, but the sense of God's originating and supervising was unmistakable. With an invitation and offer from Harry Heidelbrecht to partner with his ministry, we helped to rebuild a house in Fresno that had fire damage. After initial estimates that we might clear $20,000, we walked away with a check for $102,000. That money was used as a down payment to purchase 5 acres of land. After being able to develop and sell 1 acre of land, we now owned, clear and free, 4 acres of land, and in addition, had back in our hands the $102,000 now being available to use for the constructing of our facility. After 4 years of mostly volunteer labor, our facility was completed and we were finally able to occupy. One aspect of our ministry objective has been to raise up and equip men and women for ministry. We have had the great pleasure of ministering with and to the great staff that God has brought us over the years. What a blessing to have all of them with us on our anniversary celebration, except for one. This aspect of ministerial equipping continues even today. In our 20 years, we have been involved with the replanting of a church and the planting of a church. Our hearts are summed up by our purpose statement, to know and delight ourselves in Christ, proclaiming His supremacy through evangelism, disciple-making, church planting, and celebrative worship. Our recent gathering to celebrate 20 years of being the Tulare Evangelical Free Church was for the purpose of extolling the faithfulness and goodness of God and to help us not to forget all that He has done. God was confirming in so many ways that He was indeed directing the establishing of an evangelical free church in Tulare. It has not always been easy. Look how much our pastor has changed over the years. But it has always been a labor of love. What an honor to be saved by Christ and to proclaim and witness about Him. As Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty is noted for saying,
Happy, happy, happy.
Happy day, happy day.